Hi, I'm Dan Weedin, and this is Extra Points. Not only is this the final Extra Points of the year, it's the final Extra Points of the decade. And we humans like to commemorate that 10-year span of the decades. In fact, there's a series of documentaries out that memorialize decades. As I go back through my own life, I was born in the 60s. I don't remember the 60s. I was too young to remember most of them, but I have all of the 70s when I was in grade school and junior high. The 80s, which was very significant. I had high school, I had college graduations, I got married, I had kids, I got my first jobs. Pretty specific and special decade. I had the 90s growing up as a young adult with kids. The zeros, and of course the last decade, which I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about, and then what your assignment is. So the past decade was pretty significant for me, both personally and professionally. I lost both my parents early in the decade. In 2011, my dad passed, and in 2015, my mom passed. I also had the great fortune of seeing both daughters graduate from college, then walking one daughter down the aisle as she got married, and in the latter part of this decade, I got to become a grandfather to two beautiful granddaughters. Professionally, I wrote 3 books. I became a LinkedIn author, and I added a part of a business that's brand new. I've reinvented my business probably 3 times in this decade. So what's coming with the new Roaring 20s? I don't know. But the reality is that doing a little exercise and going back through each of the decades I've lived in has been really eye-opening. It's shown that in each case, what's happened in the beginning and how the decade ended, vastly different. And I'm going to say that that's going to happen again. Technology and our digital world is growing exponentially. We really have no idea how these roaring 20s are going to change us. But I do know that, at least for me, I'm ready for it, both personally and professionally. I'm excited and eager to jump in, mostly because I'm ready for the challenge and I'm ready to create my own way and to be unleashed. Here's how you can become unleashed. Do the same exercise I just did. However many decades you've been part of, go back over them and take note of how you changed over those 10 years, both professionally and personally. Things that happened to you, events that changed you. Go back over them, take note of them, and see how you responded in all those cases. What you can now do is take a look at the 20s, the new Roaring 20s, and start planning ahead, even though you don't know what 2029 is going to bring. You can start the decade off right by being ready to change, to grow, to develop, to innovate, both personally and professionally. As we come to the end of this year and to the end of this decade, I want to thank each and every one of you for following my work. I'm excited about what's in store. You should be too. And I'll leave you with this. I hope good health, good success, great success, both professionally and personally for you, and that you slide in ahead of the tag in 2020. Happy New Year, happy new decade. Be unleashed.